Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is to plane down this wood on my planer. I'm doing it outside so I don't disturb the ill chicken. So I'm planing this down to exactly 2 inches wide to give a smooth face. I've already transferred the marks to the top of the board to show where the neck ends and the headstock begins. So, hearing protection, here we go. So I've got this piece of mahogany planed on 3 sides, and I have the table saw set up with the blade exactly perpendicular to the table. You can see here that it's going to make a perpendicular cut to this board. And here I have marked in pencil the place where I need to stop cutting, and also right here I've marked on the guide the place where my blade actually stops cutting. So I have to bring this up to here and then stop. And you can see that the blade cuts not quite up to the top, so it'll leave the rest to be done on the bandsaw. And I have it set to result in a thickness of the side here, which is 5/32 of an inch. You can see what it's going to leave on the side there. That side is the thin piece of wood that will be bending into the side boards of the guitar. Then I set the saw blade to cut just the very narrow part of the other side of the piece of wood. This cut is a little bit trickier, but it works fine. And now you can see what results is that this piece of wood has 1/8 inch pieces cut all the way down to about where the neck joint begins, and there's just a little bit left at the top there that has to be cut on the bandsaw. So now I'm over at the bandsaw and I have it adjusted to fit this piece of wood, and the blade is ready to slice through that little bit that's at the bottom there. And it's easy to guide because the table saw cut guides the saw blade. Now the next step is to free the big piece of wood that I've cut away, and I'm going to cut it here along where I've sort of drawn with pencil. And then this will still leave some of this stuff here, which I have to carve out with a chisel, but that's not a big deal. And then I can carve a nice rounded exit for the sound through the sound hole here. Alright, so that should do it. Here you can see I've cut out the end of this 2x4, and I think one little tap should set this free. And now here we have 2 beautiful sides. Needs a little sanding at the bottom because of the way that the bandsaw doesn't exactly line up with the table saw cut, but that's not a big deal. And then a little bit of carving out here and we're ready for the bending.